They don't tell you this when you're down to nothing. When the bills are late, when the world looks away, when every so-called friend disappears, the moment you can't serve their comfort, no one comes to hand you a rope. You're alone. And in that silence, a truth rises like a blade. No one is coming to save you. You can waste your years begging for opportunity, waiting for a break, blaming the system, or you can face the cold reality. Wealth is not given, it is taken. Every millionaire you envy pulled themselves from the shadows by force. They built their fortune with blood in their mouth and nails in their hands. You think the difference between you and them is luck? No. It's the way they move in darkness. They didn't hope for better days. They built them. They didn't wait to be discovered. They made themselves impossible to ignore. And they damn sure didn't scatter their strength chasing every shiny distraction. They focused. They obsessed. They mastered one weapon and wielded it until the world couldn't stop paying them. The truth is, money doesn't respect desperation. It respects value. It flows to the strong, the disciplined, the relentless. If you have nothing, you're in the perfect place to create everything. No habits to unlearn. No golden cage to keep you comfortable. Just hunger. Pure, uncut hunger. That's your advantage. But hunger without a plan is just starvation. The path from 0 to 7 figures is not magic. It's mechanical. It's a system, one you can learn, one you can execute. It's brutal in its simplicity, but it demands everything from you. Every drop of focus, every ounce of grit, every shred of patience. You will need to take the skill you choose and sharpen it until it cuts through markets. You will need to convert your wins into assets before the world can take them back. You will need to sell in ways that scale beyond your body, build lead systems that feed you daily, and surround yourself with the rare few who will sharpen your blade instead of dull it. And you will have to slaughter your distractions, cut away the vanity projects, the fake work, the things that make you feel productive but keep you poor. You'll need to reinvest so aggressively that comfort becomes a foreign language. And you'll need to create systems that make your business run without you. Because true wealth is freedom, and freedom doesn't come from chains, no matter how golden. This is not about motivation. This is not about inspiration. This is about war, and your enemy is time. Every day you hesitate, the life you want drifts further away. The difference between the man with nothing and the man with millions is not the starting point. It's the decisions made in the darkness before the light came. So, if you're ready to rise, I'll give you the map. But make no mistake, this map isn't a promise. It's a weapon. A weapon you must wield without mercy, without hesitation. If you're ready to stop bleeding for pennies and start building a machine that prints dollars, here's where it begins. The 8 laws of going from nothing to $1 million. Hack 1. Master one money skill until it prints. This is the first battlefield. And most people die here, quietly, invisibly, because they never truly pick up a weapon. When you have nothing, the temptation is to do everything. You jump from idea to idea, hustle to hustle, hoping one will catch. You sell t-shirts one week, try drop shipping the next, learn a bit of code, dabble in real estate, half learn marketing, then abandon it when it doesn't explode in 30 days. That's the death spiral. And here's the truth you don't want to hear. Every time you jump, you reset the clock to 0. You will never reach mastery because you never stay in the fight long enough to sharpen your blade. The $1 million path is paved with depth, not width. It's not about knowing a little about everything. It's about knowing so much about one thing that the market sees you as a weapon they need. Think of it like a sniper rifle. Spray bullets in every direction and you might hit nothing. But one well-aimed shot, honed through years of steady hands, precise calculations, and deliberate practice, can drop the target every time. Your skill is that rifle. And until you can hit the target blindfolded, in the rain, under fire, you're not ready to build an empire. Pick one skill that can command high income on its own. Doesn't matter if it's sales, copywriting, closing deals, media buying, coding, product design, investing. What matters is that it's a money skill, something that has proven in the real world to create revenue for those who wield it well. Then you make it your obsession, not a hobby, not something you do when you have time. I mean every damn day. You read, you watch, you break it apart, you rebuild it. You fail publicly, then you adjust. You get feedback, you sharpen. You become the person in every room who can solve that problem better than anyone else. And here's the unglamorous part. The first months, maybe the first year, will be nothing but frustration. You'll feel like you're learning in slow motion. You'll watch people around you chase quick money and post their little wins online while you grind away in silence. And you will be tempted, you will be tempted, to abandon your path for something easier, flashier, faster. That's the cliff. Most people jump off right there and never climb back up. But if you push through the slow bleed of early learning, something happens. The skill begins to click. You see opportunities others miss. You execute faster, cleaner, with more precision. You stop chasing crumbs and start positioning yourself for the whole feast. The market starts to recognize you. The calls come in, the deals get bigger, and the money starts to print. At this level, you're no longer just someone who knows a skill. You are the skill. You carry it into any room, and you know you can turn it into cash. That's leverage. That's power. From here, you can stack other skills to amplify it. Sales plus marketing, coding plus automation, design plus branding. But you start with one weapon sharpened to a razor's edge. Most broke people think they're one lucky break away from wealth. The truth is, you're one mastered skill away from wealth. But mastery isn't given. It's earned. Through patience, through repetition, through the discipline to ignore every shiny distraction until the world knows you for one thing. They are the best. And once you're the best, you don't chase money anymore. Money chases you. Hack 2. Turn income into assets fast. Making money is not the same as keeping it. Too many people think the war ends when the first big checks start coming in. When they taste that first 10K month. When they buy the watch. When they take the trip. When they post their "made it" selfie. They think they've arrived. But in reality, they've just built a sandcastle at low tide. Because here's the brutal truth. Money that sits in your account isn't safe. It's dying. Every day inflation robs it. Every impulsive decision bleeds it. Every "I'll just treat myself" drains it. And if you've clawed your way up from nothing, losing it will feel like a blade to the gut. You must understand this. Income is just raw material. It's the pile of unshaped stone at the base of the monument you're trying to build. Assets are the monument. And the monument is what will stand when the storms come. When you get paid, the first thought should not be, "What can I buy?" but, "Where can I store this so it multiplies?" Stocks, real estate, online businesses, licensable intellectual property, revenue-producing digital products, anything that pays you whether you wake up or not. Assets are soldiers. Each one is a worker you've bought with your sweat and your time, and now they work for you, forever. But if you keep all your money as cash, you're not a general, you're a hoarder. And hoarders get robbed. Here's the danger. Most people finally break into good income and then trap themselves in a new prison. Lifestyle inflation. They start playing a game called keep up with my own ego. The car, the clothes, the apartment upgrade, the bar tabs. They justify it all with I can afford it now. Until one bad month, one lost client, one market downturn wipes them out. Then they're back at zero. Except now, they have taste for things they can no longer pay for. If you want to go from nothing to $1 million, you have to flip the script. You don't spend like you're rich until your assets are rich. If you make $10,000 a month but your assets make nothing, you're still poor. You just have a high-paying job. If your assets make $10,000 a month, you could walk away tomorrow and never work again. That's the difference. The formula is simple, but it's not easy. Generate income through your mastered skill. Live far below what that income says you can afford. Take the surplus and deploy it into assets that grow and cash flow. Repeat until the income from your assets matches or exceeds the income from your skill. And here's the shift you have to make in your head. You are not a consumer. You are a builder. Every dollar is a brick. You can either spend it on comfort today or lay it into the fortress that will protect you tomorrow. The streets are full of people who had a shot at building wealth, but traded it for validation. They wore their future on their wrist. They drove their retirement out of the dealership lot. They posted their dreams on Instagram and then sold them for likes. Don't be one of them. Stack soldiers. Build fortresses. Buy time. Because the day will come when you don't want to work, or when you can't. And on that day, your assets will either feed you or you will starve. Hack 3. Sell what scales. Here's where most people quietly kill their own shot at wealth. They build a business that can never outrun their own shadow. They create something where they have to be present for every sale, every delivery, every win. And at first, it feels good. It's personal, it's under control, and the money comes in. But there's a hidden trap. If you have to be there for every dollar earned, you've already built a ceiling above your head, and that ceiling is low. There are only so many hours in a day, so many hands-on tasks you can take, so many clients you can personally serve. No matter how good you are, your time is finite. And time is the only currency you can never get more of. If your income is chained to it, you've already lost the war. The people who rise from nothing to millions fast, they sell what scales. They build offers, products, or systems that can multiply without multiplying their hours. Think about it. If you sell a physical product, you can replicate it. 1 unit sold, or 10,000 units sold. It doesn't require 10,000 times the effort. If you sell a digital product, once it's created, you can deliver it to millions without touching it again. If you run a SaaS, you can onboard more users without physically being there. If you license intellectual property, you can earn royalties forever while you focus on the next creation. The goal is to separate delivery from your presence. The work you do once should be able to pay you over and over. That's how you turn a single day's effort into years of income. That's how you weaponize time. But here's the uncomfortable truth. You might have to destroy the business you have to build the one that scales. Many cling to what's working because it feels safe, even though they know it's keeping them small. It's like carrying a leaking bucket. You can fill it faster, but it will never hold enough to get you free. Scaling requires letting go of control. You can't micromanage every sale, every client interaction, every delivery. You need systems, people, automation. You need to build the machine instead of being the machine. And yes, it's uncomfortable. It means trusting others. It means investing in infrastructure instead of pulling cash out for yourself. It means trading short-term certainty for long-term capacity. But if you want to go from 0 to 7 figures, you need to make a decision. Do you want to be the craftsman who can only work as much as his hands allow? Or do you want to be the architect who builds something that works without him? The first might get you a comfortable life, until your hands slow, your energy fades, or the market shifts. The second can make you untouchable. Because when your offer scales, your income is no longer capped by time, energy, or location. You can push traffic into your system, and the system converts it into cash while you plan your next move. That's when you start playing offense at all times. Sell what scales, or accept that your business is just a job you gave yourself, with a boss far harsher than the one you left. Hack 4. Build a relentless lead engine. If Hack 3 is about building a machine that can sell without you, Hack 4 is about making sure that machine never runs out of fuel. Because here's the reality. The best product in the world dies in obscurity if no one knows it exists. And in business, obscurity is death. I've seen it 1,000 times. A skilled operator, a brilliant offer, even a scalable product, and yet their business flatlines. Why? Because they rely on chance to bring in customers. They think word of mouth will just happen. They wait for referrals like a beggar waiting for scraps, and every dry week sends them into a panic spiral. That's not a business. That's gambling. And you can't build millions on dice rolls. A lead engine is the opposite of chance. It's a system designed to feed your business opportunities every single day, without fail. When it's built right, it's merciless. It never sleeps, never stops, never runs dry. It pulls strangers into your world, warms them until they're ready to buy, and keeps them close enough to buy again. The channels are endless. Content marketing, SEO, paid ads, cold outreach, partnerships, referrals events, PR, email campaigns, influencer deals. But the principle is the same. Build something that brings in attention, turns it into trust, and converts that trust into revenue. You can't be lazy here. One channel is not enough. Relying on a single source of leads is putting your life in the hands of a single point of failure. Algorithm change, ad account banned, partnership ends. You're dead in the water. You need multiple streams feeding you. This is why lead generation is not an afterthought. It's a skill, a weapon. If you can control your lead flow, you can control your income. If you can increase lead flow at will, you can scale. And if you can make it so your lead flow costs less than what each lead is worth, you've built an infinite money loop. But here's the dark side. Most entrepreneurs never build this. They avoid it because it's hard or technical, or because they don't want to put themselves out there. So they keep living month to month, deal to deal, terrified of a dry spell. You can't afford that fear. Fear makes you desperate, and desperation makes you weak in negotiations, soft on price, and easy to manipulate. A steady flood of leads kills that desperation. It puts you in control. You can raise prices, reject bad clients, and focus on the high-value opportunities that actually move the needle. A lead engine isn't just about survival, it's about power. It's the difference between hoping someone will find you and deciding who gets the privilege of paying you. So build it, automate it, test it, track it, and once it's running, never stop feeding it. Because the second you get comfortable and turn it off, your business starts dying in silence. If your skill is your weapon and your product is your fortress, your lead engine is your army. Without it, the gates will fall. Hack 5. Compound relationships, not just money. Most people think wealth is built on money alone. They see the zeros in someone's bank account and think that's the foundation. But they miss the truth hiding in plain sight. Before the millions came, the network came. You can stack cash by yourself, yes, but you will always be capped. There's only so much you can know, so much you can do, so many moves you can make alone. One mind, one set of hands, one reach. Alone, you are a soldier. But with the right people, you become an army. The broke cling to the myth of the self-made millionaire because it lets them hide from the uncomfortable truth. They've avoided the rooms where the next level plays. They've stayed in their circles of comfort, around people who clap for them but can't teach them. They never upgrade their environment, and then wonder why their life stays the same. Wealth compounds fastest when relationships compound. One introduction can replace years of struggle. One partnership can open markets you could never reach alone. One mentor can shorten a 10-year learning curve into a single conversation. But this isn't about sucking up to rich people or chasing high-status friends. That's desperation, and desperation smells. This is about value alignment, about becoming the kind of person whose presence upgrades every room they enter. Someone who brings opportunities, solutions, and results, not just a handout looking for a favor. You start by being useful. You give value first, without keeping score. You share knowledge, make introductions, solve problems, until you become impossible to ignore. You do this enough, and doors start opening without you even knocking. And here's the hidden benefit. When you compound relationships, you compound information flow. You start hearing about deals before they're public. You get access to insider knowledge, to strategies, to shifts in the market, before the crowd even notices. And in business, early information is power. Power to move faster, position smarter, and cash in before the herd arrives. But be warned. The wrong relationships can destroy you just as fast as the right ones can elevate you. Your network can either be an accelerant or an anchor. Align with parasites, people who take more than they give, and you'll bleed out slowly without even noticing. Protect your circle like it's your war council. Remove the weak, the selfish, the cowardly. Keep only those who sharpen your edge. Money comes and goes. Relationships, if built right, pay forever. They create opportunities that money alone can't buy, because money can't buy trust. And trust, once earned, becomes the currency that multiplies all others. Your skill is your weapon. Your lead engine is your army. But your network is the map to every battlefield worth fighting on. Without it, you'll waste your life fighting in the wrong wars. Hack 6. Ruthlessly cut what doesn't make money. This is where most people sabotage themselves without even realizing it. They think the enemy is lack of opportunity, but the real killer is distraction disguised as progress. The world is full of busy people going nowhere. They stack their days with meetings, tinkering, research, and tasks that look impressive from the outside, but produce nothing measurable. They convince themselves they're grinding. But when you strip away the noise, their hard work doesn't move them 1 inch closer to wealth. They're building sandcastles in the dark, intricate, detailed, impressive, and completely washed away by the morning tide. If you want to make $1 million from nothing, you must become absolutely brutal with your time and energy. Every action you take either moves you toward income, skill growth, or asset acquisition, or it doesn't. There is no middle ground. And if it doesn't, it has to die. You must be willing to kill projects you've invested time in if they aren't producing. Kill habits you've grown comfortable with if they aren't profitable. Kill social ties that drain your focus if they aren't aligned with your mission. This isn't about being cold. It's about survival. Here's the hard truth. Your life is a battlefield, and every task, every meeting, every relationship is either a soldier fighting for you or a traitor slowing you down. If you don't cut the traitors, you'll bleed out slowly while they smile in your face. This is not easy. It means saying no to opportunities that sound exciting, but pull you off course. It means walking away from deals that might make a little money, but cost too much focus. It means ignoring the crowd-chasing trends while you stay locked on your primary target. Focus is profit, and profit is freedom. To get there, you have to operate like a sniper, not a machine gunner spraying at every target. You line up the shot, you take it, you hit, you move. No wasted bullets, no wasted motion. Every action is intentional. And here's where the amateurs fall. They get emotionally attached to the wrong things. The side project they've been building for 2 years that's never produced. The content strategy that burns hours but never brings in a lead. The partnership that feels comfortable but never delivers. They'd rather stay loyal to failure than admit they were wrong and walk away. But the pros, they cut fast, they cut clean. They free up resources to double down on what works. And because of that, they grow faster, they move lighter, and they stay dangerous. Every week ask yourself, if I cut this, would my path to $1 million get shorter? If the answer is yes, it's already dead. You're just delaying the execution. This is how you protect momentum. This is how you ensure every drop of energy you spend compounds instead of evaporates. Because when you're building from nothing, waste is not an inconvenience. It's a death sentence. Hack 7. Reinvest until it feels uncomfortable. This is the hack that separates the ones who look like they're winning from the ones who actually build empires. Because most people, the moment money starts coming in, slow down their climb. They start spending on validation, cars, clothes, comfort. They start rewarding themselves like the war is over. And that's why they never make it past their first burst of success. They forget the first real money you make is not for spending. It's for weaponizing. From nothing to $1 million, every dollar you take for personal comfort is a soldier you've pulled off the battlefield. And while you're celebrating, your competition is doubling their army, upgrading their weapons, and surrounding your position. The fastest way to scale is to take what you make and throw it back into the fire. More marketing, better tools, higher skilled hires, faster production, stronger systems. You take that extra cash and use it to build things that make even more cash. And here's the key. If it doesn't feel uncomfortable, you're not reinvesting enough. If you still feel safe, if you still feel cushioned, you're leaving speed on the table. Because the truth is, comfort and growth are enemies. One will always kill the other. This isn't about reckless spending. It's about strategic sacrifice. Every reinvested dollar should be aimed at multiplying your capacity to produce and scale. That might mean pouring into ads, even when you could pocket the money, hiring top talent instead of settling for affordable mediocrity, paying for mentorship or consulting that collapses years of trial and error into weeks, upgrading systems before they break under the pressure of growth. Most people won't do this because they're addicted to instant reward. They want to feel rich before they actually are. They mistake income for wealth, and in doing so, they cut the legs off their own growth. But if you have the discipline to reinvest when it's hard, when it would be so much easier to spend on yourself, you'll break through plateaus that destroy most businesses. Because reinvestment compounds not just your money, but your momentum. And here's the part no one tells you. When you keep reinvesting, something strange happens. You start to outgrow the competition so fast, they can't even see you anymore. They're stuck playing defense while you build offense on top of offense. This is how empires are built, not by stacking cash and sitting on it, but by constantly upgrading the machine until it becomes unstoppable. Yes, it will be uncomfortable. It will test your patience. It will make you wonder if you're doing the right thing while others flaunt their early winnings. But when the dust settles, they'll be the ones scrambling for scraps while you own the battlefield. Hack 8. Build systems, not shackles. This is where the game changes, where you stop running your business and start owning it. Because here's the truth. Most won't face. If your business collapses the moment you step away, you don't own a business. You own a prison. Too many people grind themselves into the ground, building something they think is freedom, when in reality it's just a job they can't quit. The revenue might be higher, the office might be bigger, but they're still chained to the daily grind, serving the business instead of the business serving them. That's not wealth. That's a better-looking cage. From nothing to a million, your early moves are about speed, hustle, and output. But once momentum is in your hands, your focus must shift. Because the next phase is not about working more. It's about working less, while the machine keeps running. And that means one thing: systems. Systems are the gears of a self-sustaining engine. They are documented processes, automated workflows, delegated responsibilities. They are the difference between I have to do this and this gets done whether I'm here or not. Think about it. Every repetitive task, every predictable bottleneck, every moving part in your business should be mapped, standardized, and handed off to either people or technology. The sales process, the client onboarding, the fulfillment, the marketing cadence, the reporting. All of it should be designed so that it works without your constant touch. At first, it feels unnatural. You've been hands-on for so long that letting go feels risky. You'll think, what if they mess it up? What if it breaks? But here's the cold truth. If your business can't survive you stepping away for a week, it's already broken. And there's another trap: building the wrong systems. You can systemize inefficiency. You can automate waste. You can put structure around things that don't make money. And all you'll do is make your prison more efficient. That's why this comes last. Because every system should be built around what you already know works. When done right, systems buy you back the most valuable currency in existence: time. Time to think bigger. Time to explore new markets. Time to invest, scale, and build without drowning in day-to-day chaos. This is where true wealth is born, not in the number in your bank account, but in the control you have over your own time. Because when your systems run the business, you're finally free to step into the role of architect, not laborer. And here's the final shift. Once the systems are in place, the million isn't the finish line anymore. It's just the starting point. Because now, scaling doesn't mean working harder. It just means feeding the machine more fuel. More leads, more offers, more markets. The systems absorb the growth without breaking. Build systems, not shackles. Because a million you have to work for every day isn't freedom. It's just an expensive job. But a million that runs while you sleep, that's a weapon you can wield for life. Everything I've told you is not theory. It's not a wish. It's a set of weapons. Sharpened, proven, and dangerous in the hands of someone willing to wield them without hesitation. 8 hacks, 8 blades. Each one alone is deadly, but together, they form the war strategy for pulling yourself from nothing to a million. Master one skill until it bleeds profit. Turn income into assets that work without you. Sell offers that scale beyond your body. Feed the machine with a relentless lead engine. Compound relationships until your network becomes a fortress. Cut every ounce of dead weight. Reinvest until the discomfort becomes your normal. And build systems that free you instead of chaining you. This isn't about luck. It's not about waiting for the right time. It's not about being chosen. The world will not hand you wealth. It will test you for it. It will throw distractions, comfort, and false victories in your path to see if you're strong enough to keep moving. Most won't. Most will slow down at the first taste of money. Most will trade the grind for comfort too soon. Most will build cages and call them businesses. But you're here because you see through it. You understand that freedom isn't handed out. It's taken. That wealth isn't the goal. It's the weapon. The weapon that gives you control over your time, your choices, your life. And the truth is, once you have that control, the million won't even matter anymore. You'll be too busy building empires, too busy stacking assets, too busy moving like someone who doesn't answer to anyone but themselves. So burn this into your mind. No one is coming to save you. Your rise will not be gentle. It will be ruthless, deliberate, and relentless. The only question left is, will you stay in the shadows with the rest of them? Or will you take these weapons and carve your way to the throne? This is where true wealth is born. Not in the number in your bank account, but in the control you have over your own time. Because when your systems run the business, you're finally free to step into the role of architect, not laborer. And here's the final shift. Once the systems are in place, the million isn't the finish line anymore. It's just the starting point. Because now, scaling doesn't mean working harder. It just means feeding the machine more fuel, more leads, more offers, more markets. The systems absorb the growth without breaking. Build systems, not shackles. Because a million you have to work for every day isn't freedom. It's just an expensive job. But a million that runs while you sleep, that's a weapon you can wield for life.